All right, let's talk some Baker Mayfield for a second. Listen, not the best performance by the Cleveland Browns. They got absolutely smoked by the New England Patriots. Part of it was on Baker, not all of it, but part of it. I mean, you look at his box score numbers, a passer rating of 56.3, which is not good, obviously. I know it's just box score numbers, but the tape does kind of back it up. It was kind of a tough performance from Baker. So there was some good stuff too, but I'm going to focus on the negatives, focus on what, quite frankly, he has to improve upon if this team is going to just make the playoffs, let alone make a deep run. I mean, they were my preseason Super Bowl winning picks, so they really got to pick it up. So yeah, let's just get into the film and talk about what he needs to improve on. So let's start things off with one like this. This is a good example of just what he needs to start doing better, which is make better decisions. It's been an issue with Mayfield his entire career. It is continuing to be an issue. It kind of wasn't for the second half of last year, and we're thinking, all right, here we go, Baker Mayfield all the way back. Well, maybe not quite, because and by all the way back, I just mean like from what we expected him to be coming out of college. Anyways, here's what's happening on this play. It's going to be man coverage, and Mayfield is running a designed rollout to the offense's left. The way he makes his reads on this play is he's going to make his reads basically closest to him to furthest to him. So it'll be Jarvis Landry, who's going to run a route basically right at the goal line, then Anthony Schwartz a little bit further on, and then he'll get to his third read, which is further down the field. That's the one that's starting from the offense's right. So look, I think Mayfield does a couple things here. First thing is he very quickly realizes, okay, this is not working, which is, not the most difficult read to realize, but he notices it, so good for him. At this point, what do? Well, that third read is actually open. Like, you can make this throw. It's a little bit more difficult than you might realize, just looking at it from here, because you have to get it over linebackers, but it is something Mayfield can do. Mayfield notices this, and he is going to try and make this throw. I don't hate any of this. What I hate is you have to make this decision quickly, because there is a linebacker and a safety who were covering the middle of the field. They've kind of moved closer as Mayfield has moved closer towards the offense's left. But watch how Mayfield just waits way too long. Eventually, he makes that throw. That honestly probably should have been intercepted, and he just waited too long. I mean, you got to pull that trigger immediately. He did not notice what was going on. He's always had a kind of an issue with seeing safeties and linebackers over the middle. That's always been an issue with him. Again, but when I say always, I'm excluding the second half of last season where he seemingly did a lot better, but now I'm starting to wonder if that was more of a luck thing than it was actually him legitimately playing better. I mean, he played well as well, but there could be a flukiness to that at the same time. Or maybe it's the rest of his career that's fluky. I don't know, but it's fascinating. Now let's go over to the one that actually ended up as an interception, because there were a few that could have, right? There's a few that you would mark down as turnover-worthy plays if you're, a PFF grader. What's happening on this play is it's man coverage with a, single safety deep, another safety who's going to kind of cover over the middle, except that's actually not what's happening on this play. That's what they're showing. They make it seem like it's man coverage, but it's not. It's a disguise and a good one. New England's going to drop back and play cover 2 zones. So Mayfield getting fooled by this disguise isn't really that bad. In fact, when I was watching this, I got fooled by this disguise. I said, okay, man coverage, and then I had to watch it a couple times. Like, wait a second, this isn't right. And then I realized, oh, okay, it was a disguise. So Mayfield has to figure this out immediately. Him getting fooled, that's understandable. That's the route he wants to throw to. It's really good against man coverage. It's not going to be the best against zone coverage, so this is kind of where things can become an issue. Watch, Mayfield takes a snap. You see right here that, okay, if this was man, this probably would have been getting wide open right here because, both corners are just focused on the guy they're trying to cover, or both defensive players, I should say. So towards the sideline, the cornerback would be having his back completely turned, and Mayfield could simply just throw it to the open guy. This makes sense. So him, getting fooled on this, that part is understandable. What's not understandable is going to be the throw itself. I mean, look, it's just way behind. It's just a really behind throw, which results in an interception by the guy who Mayfield knew was supposed to be covering him. So the zone coverage aspect in that great disguise, that made it look worse maybe because you're wondering, okay, what was he trying to do there? But in terms of the actual throw itself, it was an interceptable pass, even if that was man. So the zone coverage maybe made it a little easier because it allowed New England, Kyle Duggar on that play to turn his body and make that adjustment because he knew he had help. So that did make a factor, but it was a bad throw regardless. Speaking of bad throws, let's go over to this one right here, where it's man coverage, and quite frankly, New England does this a lot. Cover one. Stop throwing to J.C. Jackson on this stuff. You have opportunities against kind of these lesser corners. Don't throw to J.C. Jackson. It's just not smart. It's okay to cut your losses and say, you know what, J.C. Jackson's good. I'm not going to take this chance. It's even more okay when the guy who you're throwing to is Anthony Schwartz, who, I like him for what he can do, but he's not a star player by any means. And again, part of it is, hey, Schwartz, he's a speed guy. So you kind of understand the logic here, but this isn't just a go route. There's, that's not exactly what he's doing. Watch what happens. Look, so first, J.C. Jackson creates some contact. What you want to do, slow down Schwartz a little bit. I understand the logic again, but if you're going to make this throw, put some air under it. Let Schwartz try to outrun J.C. Jackson. Don't do what Mayfield is going to do. What's really important to understand here is leverage. Right? I mean, where do you want to throw this ball to Schwartz? Well, currently, he has sort of the inside leverage, meaning closer to the inside of the field. If you throw it towards the inside of the field, that's where Schwartz can win. However, his route is going towards the sideline where J.C. Jackson currently is. That makes this route a lot more difficult. However, Mayfield makes this throw anyways, doesn't put much air under it, and that could have easily been intercepted right there. He got away with one. So again, there's just some rough decision-making from Mayfield, and I think that's a fair thing to point out at this point. It's been, has been something that has plagued his career a little bit. And one more play, I want to bring up this one as well, because quite frankly, I felt like Mayfield started to play a little scared a little bit once he was, making these turnover-worthy plays. Again, just the one interception, but some other plays that could have gone poorly. I feel like he got a little bit too cautious then, too, where that's kind of the issue is you have to make the right decision. And sometimes that right decision is to throw the football. Like, it's not always, okay, don't make that throw. Sometimes bad decision-making works the other way as well. On this play, it's cover 3 zone, and they're showing cover 3 zone. They're not hiding it right here. There's no disguise. This is what you would think it would be pre-snap. Again, with New England, you see ghost out there, right? You think that it might be something else just because of how well they disguise, but no, on this play, they're just playing straight up cover 3, which is probably what you should assume when you take the snap. This concept can work against cover 3. And look, Mayfield takes the snap, and you notice, he's looking over there. This is open. This is exactly what you wanted to have happen. This is how you drew up the play. You drew up a play designed to beat this coverage. It's working, and Mayfield is looking in that direction. It's working on the other side as well. Mayfield's not looking in that direction, so I'm not going to kill him for it. You're looking in the right direction. Make that throw. He waits too long, and it's going to end up, nothing is going to get open there. Well, he had his moment, and he just throws the ball away. To me, this is, when I think about above replacement level plays or below replacement level plays, this is a below replacement level play. A replacement level quarterback gets you about 20 yards on this play. Mayfield, he just got 2 in his own head, and I think it was because of, I think maybe Mayfield was seeing ghost a little bit. I really do. I find it to be a very fascinating situation. The good news is, the hope is you can improve on this stuff, right? Guys do get smarter the older they get. So Mayfield, you get older, you get smarter. That's the hope. That's how you hope things work out. The dilemma that you face, obviously, for the Browns is, what if Mayfield plays like this all season, which is one good week, one bad week, kind of up and down, still makes some bad decisions. Do you keep him? Do you give him the big contract? Or do you sit here and say, like, okay, let's make a run at someone like Aaron Rodgers? I think it's a fascinating situation. And I do think, unfortunately for Mayfield, he doesn't quite have that high upside that like a Mahomes and a Josh Allen do, where they can make some of the same mistakes, but then they make up for it with these insane throws that no one else makes. Mayfield doesn't really do that. So the negatives, sometimes do outweigh the positives with Mayfield. And that's the frustration with him, because he does still have positives, and he's not a horrible quarterback by any means. The question with him is just, can he win you a Super Bowl? And the answer is probably no, but he maybe can win a Super Bowl with the right team. Well, I think they have a good team around him. So it's a very fascinating situation. But again, that's kind of broader strokes. In terms of the short term, just got to make better decisions, and hopefully he will. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.